Hey, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I am Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a post-fight show for UFC Fight Night. Benson Henderson versus Brandon Thatch in a welterweight clash of the titans. It's kind of like a David versus Goliath type thing. Brandon Thatch being Goliath and Benson Henderson being David. Got the smaller guy versus the bigger guy. Benson Henderson going up from lightweight to welterweight. But before we get to that post-fight rundown of the main card, I have a quick public service announcement for you guys. Okay, I want my viewers to eat healthy. I want my viewers to take care of themselves. And I got one question for you guys. Have you guys ate your Wheaties? Oh, man. Yeah, there's Wheaties. Yeah, Wheaties. Look at that, the champ. Wow. Wow. You know, man, yeah, wow. Ooh, man, yeah, the champ, he's here. Wow, whoa. Wow. Okay. Okay. Ah, man. Okay, now let's get down to business, shall we? Okay. So, this was Fight Night. Henderson versus Thatch. Great main card. Okay, so Benson Henderson went up to from lightweight to welterweight. Made his welterweight debut against rising star Brandon Thatch. Brandon Thatch came into this fight 11-1. Benson Henderson, former UFC lightweight champion. And wow, this was a battle of the ages because Benson Henderson, he was able to stick and move and land some good combinations, and the first 3 rounds pretty much outstrike Brandon Thatch narrowly each round. Brandon Thatch landed some good clean shots too. He still uses reach pretty well, but Benson Henderson just got the better of the exchanges overall in each round. Then round 4, it was submission rear naked choke win for Benson Henderson, and that was deep into the round too. It was 3 minutes and 50 some odd seconds into the round, and yeah, it was an extravagant fight. I'm really proud of both fighters. They both showed up. It was everything you expect out of a main event fight. I hope to see Brandon Thatch a lot more in the UFC. And I kind of hope Benson Henderson stays at welterweight, because I think he's already lost to Anthony Pettis twice, once in the WEC and once in the UFC. And it's like, well, as long as Anthony Pettis is champion lightweight, might as well test waters at welterweight if you're looking this good. Plus, he has a chin on him, and he has cardio, and he takes good care of himself, and he's still not too old either. He's still fairly young. Yeah. So that wraps up the main event. Now let's get to the co-main event, which was Max Holloway versus Cole Miller. Yeah, Max Holloway, he was able to use his reach in this fight, and Cole Miller, he looked good. He hung in there, but yeah, it was decision unanimous. And Cole Miller, he was just pretty much surviving in that round 3. And yeah, it is what it is. Max Holloway, it looks like now he's having a date with Cub Swanson. I think that'll be a good striking battle. I hope Cub wins that fight, but I like Max Holloway too. And yeah, that was the featherweight division. That's 145ers. Good job, Max Holloway, getting the unanimous decision win over Cole Miller. Then in the welterweight division, also on the main card, we had Neil Magny versus Kiichi Kunamoto. And wow, round 3 submission. That was, yeah, rear naked choke. Neil Magny looked great. The first 2 rounds, he did some good ground and pound, got him up against the cage. Wow, Neil Magny. Who would have thought that he would be the breakout star of season 16 of The Ultimate Fighter? I mean, we had Colton Smith win that season, and he didn't last too well too long in the UFC. Then you had Mike Ricci, who was the runner-up, didn't last too long in the UFC. And then you have Neil Magny, who wasn't a finalist, wasn't the winner of that season, came into the UFC, looked so-so, and now he's on a huge win streak in the UFC, and I hope he fights a top 10 or top 15 guy in his next matchup. Good job, Neil Magny. Really proud of you. Gotta love you, man. Gotta support the troops. Thank you for fighting for the country. And yeah, so Neil Magny wins that one, round 3 in Colorado, where he's trained at. Then also on the main card, we had a catchweight bout with Dan Kelly and Patrick Walsh. Dan Kelly from Ultimate Fighter Nations on Team Australia, and Patrick Walsh from Ultimate Fighter Season 19. And yeah, this fight was decision unanimous. Dan Kelly did great job with his striking defense, avoiding getting hit and blocking shots. And him being a judo practitioner, he did a good job improving on his striking and really showing that he's worked at it. And I think he should have used his judo more in this fight. Why not? Especially in the later rounds. I think he could have done some good judo throws, really throwing in some more good judo throws, and really work on Patrick Walsh in maybe a side position, get some good side control there, and pound him out. Yeah, but good job, Dan Kelly. Hopefully next time he makes weight. Him and Patrick Walsh, hopefully they make weight on their next fight. Yeah, but that was decision unanimous. Due to pretty much he outpointed him. He outpointed Patrick Walsh, landing a little bit more strikes in each round, and round 2 the decision victory. Then also on the main card we had a lightweight bout with Kevin Lee and Michael Prazares. And yeah, this was decision unanimous. Kevin Lee looked amazing in this fight. He is on a good, healthy win streak right now after making his UFC debut against Al Iaquinta and losing that fight. Since then he's gone on a win streak, and I think Kevin Lee is definitely a prospect in lightweight division. He's a guy that he has a chin on him, he has cardio. The big question now is, can he finish fighters? Especially, can he hang with the top 15, top 20 ranked guys in the division, and can he finish them? Because that's what's going to come down to. If he keeps winning these decisions, then it'll be a long journey for him, and who knows what could happen there. But if he can start being a finisher, especially against the upper echelon of talent in the lightweight division, which is really stacked, then that'll really make a statement. So, but for here and now, Kevin Lee's looking good. Yeah, then to kick off the main card, we had a flyweight battle with Ray Borg and Chris Kalidas. Yeah, Chris Kalidas, he's looked good in the past in the UFC, and Ray Borg, he's a top prospect. Yeah, Ray Borg, I think, should fight Zach Makovsky next. I think that would be a good matchup. Yeah, Ray Borg, he can do it all, and he's pretty young still. So, yeah, he won that fight by submission Kimura in the 3rd round. And yeah, I think Ray Borg, he definitely can do a lot with his submission game and be a threat there. And yeah, I think we will see Ray Borg in that top 10 in the flyweights, and possibly fighting for a title very soon. Give it about a year or so, we'll definitely be hearing more and more from him. And yeah, that wraps up the post-fight show for Henderson versus Thatch, UFC Fight Night. Wow, amazing fights top to bottom. And the prelims weren't bad either. Chaz Skelly fight at featherweight, and the prelims was amazing. he won by TKO punches and knee against Jim Ehlers. That was in round 2. And that was a fun, exciting fight. So if you missed that prelim fight, I definitely recommend watching that prelim fight. And stay tuned for my next episode, which will be about Frank Mir versus Antonio Silva, UFC Fight Night, coming in the coming week. So until then, see ya. Oh, hey, and before that, congrats Ben Henderson, my good buddy. Congrats on winning. Yep, there it is, me and Ben Henderson. Anyways, until then, see ya.